Okay, with the filmmaker of Ruin Within the Ruins, play the festival. It's a really interesting film. Obviously, amazing dancers, but amazing location in Greece. Nice little kind of nice choreography. Nice, it's just a really beautiful 9-minute film. I'm just curious about how you were able to obtain these amazing locations in Greece. First of all,
Um, that was quite complicated because there's a lot of different locations and some of them are quite abandoned and dangerous to step in. So there was a lot of research. I started doing a photographic series to cover the abandoned buildings in Crete. That's the island in Crete where the film takes place. And I realized slowly that there has to be movement, there had to be dance there. So we we started there's a few different ways, like we in a collaboration with the council, the local council, we managed to have permits for most of these places. They're quite spread all over Crete. Um yeah
yeah, no, it's just they're just like amazing locate. Like, how many locations in total did you use for the film?
there were a lot more actually. We had to reduce because um we were meant to use a couple of archaeological sites, but it was so hard to get the permit. Greeks are very difficult to give permissions for ancient sites.
Yeah.
So but for the rest, there's about 6 or 7 locations, and one is an abandoned sinking village. Literally, it was abandoned about 20 years ago,
Yeah.
like a little ghost village, because they wanted to create a dam. So there's a whole village of there's a church there. There's everything that a village has, but it's all abandoned and it's sinking slowly. And then there is a music venue that was abandoned because of the financial crisis in Greece
Yeah.
back in the day. We have the only ruins that we managed to do, like the ancient ruins, was a small fort near the capital, ancient fort. And there's a few other small buildings that we used. Yeah.
Yeah, there's one that's like kind of almost like an abandoned building. It's all kind of like
Broken
it's a
glasses and
beautiful,
debris.
yeah, it's a beautiful
That
it's a
was
beautiful you wonder why like someone's gonna buy that location because or if they
yeah.
can because it's just a beautiful scenery. It's just like looks
It's
amazing if they fix it.
it's crazy. When I went there, I was like, this is actually a set.
Yeah.
This is like a ready-made set. And it's in the middle of the town, very close to the very famous ancient ruins of Knossos in Crete. Thousands of tourists visit the actual ancient ruins very close to this venue. So that was like a folklore dance venue used up until 2019. Then it closed down and then it's destroyed and been there for, I don't know if it's still there, but it was like that for a couple of years.
And then you got the one where you it's the cube, I guess, the where you're
Yeah,
dancing in front of.
it's called Loggia. Is it's a replica of a Venetian building.
Okay.
So it's like, I guess, a replica of a 15th, 14th century Venetian style of architecture. Yeah.
And then you have like there's one where you're kind of in a nice little room, I guess, kind of like nice aesthetically room.
Also quite similar. It's also a replica of a Venetian style room.
Okay.
So Crete was under the Venetian occupation for about 300 years, I think. So we kind of covered different eras in the film,
Yeah.
from modern to Venetian to ancient, basically. We went through a journey through time, basically.
So the five dancers, the five performers, were they from Greece as well?
All the crew and the cast are based in Crete. No, I'm not based in Crete. I'm half
Yeah.
based in London and Greece. But all the crew and the cast is from Crete. We wanted to have people from the island.
Oh wow. So then where
Yeah.
did you find how did you find first of all, how did you find the five performers?
I did this with the help of the choreographer who was amazing, Dimitra. She knew a few dancers. Like the island has a little bit of an active dance scene for the scale of the island, of course.
Yeah,
But there's a few people, and it was a long process. It took us a while until we got all of them.
I bet. Because the way
Yeah.
they're units, the way you kind of casted them is like they're all kind of the same height, they're the same aesthetic, they're all beautiful people, but you know what I mean? Like they're all kind of,
Hmm.
you know what I mean? Like there's like they're symmetric, I guess. That's the best way to put it.
I don't know if that was intentional. I mean, we were kind of going for this, but
Yeah,
it's also the way they are structured and positioned in the scene, I guess.
yeah.
And
No, no, it's
the costumes and everything, we try to make them seem like they are all part of the same universe, sort of thing.
yeah. No, it's a really cool film because it's like, and then in the second half they just start like there's like this kind of a stillness to the film, and then all of a sudden just you let them perform, you let them dance. I guess
Yeah, break free.
I'm sure there's a bit more matured or sophisticated way to say it, but basically you're just like they just go wild, they start dancing.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to go from very subtle
Yeah,
to dynamic.
yeah,
So that was the idea. That was hard, also very hard to find music. And it was very hard because all the music written in this island is very folklore traditional. And
yeah,
I think this would make a very different film. So I was looking for someone who would have a music that's based on the traditional forms and shapes, but has a little bit of an edgy touch. So thankfully, we found Venus Volcanism. That's her name. She's based in Iceland,
yeah,
but she's from Crete, and she's mixing Cretan elements with electronic music. And that's how we managed to have this jump to electronic.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's a good transition. It works really well. It's like, and they're great. All the dancers are fantastic. And you mentioned that Demetria, she did the choreography of the film.
Dimitra. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really beautiful choreography. So you guys, I'm assuming you guys really collaborated a great deal.
Oh, it was a fantastic collaboration. We were I was in the rehearsals every rehearsals. It took about a month. We had
Yeah,
a couple of rehearsals a week, and I was there with her every time, and it was a very close collaboration. Very, very well done, I think. And I'm quite thankful because she did manage to find all these dancers and make this film reality, because it was kind of crazy to make a film in the island
yeah.
with no resources at all. Yeah.
Well, you did it. You managed it. It's really nicely. I've obviously been able to watch a lot of dance films, but I like the way you directed it. It's like very still. Like, and then later on, you have like kind of movement in and out, but you're not kind of moving the camera. You're just kind of letting the location tell its story. I guess that's the best way to put it.
Because of the fact that we had a lot of locations,
Yeah,
I was kind of going for a fixed camera position
yeah.
until the second part where the music changes. I think it would be a bit too chaotic if we had movements, and I mean that was my thought. I hope it works like that.
No, that's what I'm saying. It
But
works for the tone of the
yeah,
film. It's a you didn't over direct it. You just kind of let like you said you used the story. You told the story the best possible way.
thank you.
So then this is was it always going to be 9 minutes? Did you always have that in mind? A 9 minute dance film?
Mm, I mean, we were going for something a little bit less, I think. I was thinking maybe 6, 7 minutes,
Okay.
but it's very hard with music and dance. It's hard to get there. It actually was the first draft was about 12 minutes, but I did really want to have something less than 10.
Yeah.
But it was hard with the music and everything. It's it was very complex editing. I did it, by the way. I did it myself because I didn't want the editor to go through the torture of
Yeah.
editing this very complicated choreography and through different locations, because the choreography goes gradually is the same throughout all the locations.
Yeah.
So it would be very complex for anyone who was not familiar with the editing to do it. Uh, so yeah,
But
I
you had the
think
music kind of telling that, like, was the music you were saying it's hard to find? Did you find the music before you did started doing the film, or did you find it after?
we had the first part of the music before
Okay.
and the second after.
Got, oh, after that thing, because then
Yeah, yeah.
you did the tone
But
shift.
then if we had to cut a minute from the film, it would have to be cut from the music. So then it wouldn't really match. It was meant to be 9 minutes, I guess. Yeah.
Gotcha. And have they watched the film? Have the performers been able to watch the film?
Yeah, online. We haven't screened it yet in Greece.
Yeah.
We've been to many festivals, but yeah, they have seen it. They're very happy with the results.
Well, yeah, this is a no-brainer acceptance. This is like I'm sure it's doing well on the festival circuit. It's getting into lots of festivals.
Yeah, we've done only in 3 months, we've been to 15, 16 festivals. So it's pretty well done, I think.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it would go so well with festivals. It's not something you can predict anyway.
Do you what did you think about the feedback that the audience that we send you, feedback video, what they had to say about your film?
Well, it was great. I mean, because of that's exactly the point. Like you get accepted in all these festivals, but most of the time you can't go unless
Yeah,
it's a local festival. So I was like, what a great idea to have a team of people to give you a little bit of feedback. It's like a really nice little thing to do to get in contact with people who were actually watching your film and they paid attention. I was impressed by the level of detail
yeah.
on the feedback. I was like, wow, they really did watch it all the way through. Yeah, I mean, very interesting observations. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's I love the film because there's so many interpretations to take from the film, right? Like and that's the point, right? Like you're not explaining, like it's people just kind of take in what you're giving them, and then they're in whatever world that they're from, whatever culture they're from, they're gonna
Mm,
take away. But it's fantastic, yeah. Because just the way you edit it, it's just like a really nicely edited film as well. Because like you're jumping so many locations and so many performers, but at the same time we get to know all five performers, and it's not too
mm,
confusing. If that makes sense.
I hope so. Yeah. Yeah, it was my first dance film.
Oh well,
Uh,
that's what I was going to
yeah,
ask you.
yeah.
Had that
I'm
like
coming from fiction and narrative, basically. So, like I said, I was covering these locations as a photographer,
yeah,
and it really felt like for the very first time in my life, I was like, wow, I think this would work as a dance film.
yeah,
And ever since in the last 4 years, I'm really exploring the dance film realm, and I'm actually preparing another dance film now. Uh, but yeah, it was hard to predict what was going to happen with the film and how I was going to edit.
yeah.
So I had in mind as a narrative filmmaker that there has to be characters and arc and all this. Uh, yeah.
So the Greek culture, the Greek like is important to you. It's well, I think you're I'm assuming you're Greek and you're based in London, but you're and it's just like you can tell that this means a lot. So it's funny that you basically it's not like that you said, okay, this is a dance film. It's and then I'm gonna
Mm,
without over explaining it to people, I'm just gonna show them. I'm gonna show my feeling through dance.
mm.
It's so smart that you did that, and then for you not to not ever do a dance film before, that's amazing. I'm curious about where did you find your because your choreographer is so important to the film. Where did you where how did you find them to work to collaborate with the film with you?
Um, I found them. I think it was initially through my sister who is traveling very often to Crete,
Yeah,
and I was looking for someone, and she recommended me a couple of people. Dimitra is a dance teacher as well in the island of Crete, so she's I think she's quite well known as a teacher there. So We talked first. I was in London. We talked on Skype a couple of times. She really liked the idea, and yeah, that's how it happened through word of mouth,
Has she
basically.
made a dance film before?
No, no. I think she has been part of little dance videos, but no, she
Yeah.
hasn't done a dance film before.
So what did she think of the film when she saw it?
She liked it a lot. She's very happy.
I
She's
bet.
quite proud of the. I mean, like I said, we didn't have expectations in the beginning because my initial intention was very humble to just do a little video for Crete for the local people there.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that it's traveling around the world in festivals is quite fantastic. And I think it does justice to what we thought. Because, yeah, it's important for me that this film captures a little bit of the Greek identity,
Yeah.
especially the Cretan identity, which is a little bit more specific. But I really didn't want to do anything folklore or very like stereotypical. Uh, so I think we Dimitra did really understand that because there's
Yeah.
very often this element that people misunderstand and they go very folklore when it comes to representing Greek dance.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you can't see it probably because you don't know, but there's little moments of Cretan dance movements interpreted into the contemporary dance, which is not very obvious for people who are not familiar with the Cretan dance, but there is a little bit of this as well.
Yeah.
So Dimitra took Cretan folklore dances
Yeah.
and transformed them into a contemporary shape, if I say.
Gotcha.
That was the idea behind the choreography. Yeah.
And so I'm assuming you want it to play in Greece somewhere, right? Because I'm sure the North American audience that watched your film from our festival, and myself included, we're watching it like we have different interpretations, but I'm sure
Mm.
the Greek culture, the people from that country are gonna see your film in a different light, one would assume.
I think so. Yeah. We're hoping to find a festival by the end of the year and I'll let you know about the reactions.
Yeah, I know. I love it because are you
Yeah.
worried that what their reactions are going to be? Like,
No, no, I'm not worried. I'm not worried. I don't think so. I mean, there's nothing to worry about. We did it with good intentions.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like there's nothing to offend anybody, right? With
No,
the
no, no,
idea.
no,
Okay,
definitely. Not that this, I mean, I'm welcome to this as well if it happens for a reason, but not in this film.
yeah. And then so then are you so then it's amazing that she's never worked on a dance film before, and this is the what she got. Like she should be over the moon because you're a
Yeah,
fantastic
yeah,
filmmaker. And it's so funny that your sister connected you guys, and you just worked on this film, and it seems like you just did this film like with this crew, but you didn't know anybody. It's just like you're not even living in the country in there anymore. It's amazing how you kind of pulled it all
yeah.
together. Like,
But we all worked together for this. It was
yeah,
quite intense. We worked really in very good spirits and we worked for it basically and we believed in it and we also had fun with it. It's for dancers, I think it must be really amazing to be dancing in a sinking village.
yeah,
It's a great feeling, like to be inhabiting these amazing places that might not exist in a few years, actually, because this village is going to sink, for example, or the venue is going to be destroyed. So we also captured historical
historic. Yeah,
evidence.
that's sad. And so you said you're going to work on another. You're working on another dance film now.
Yeah, we're going to do another one in Crete next year, beginning of next year, with the same team.
Oh wow. Okay.
Hopefully. I'm at the moment doing a music video next month, and yeah, trying to write a few narrative scripts as well.
Well, it's a great film. We're very proud to show it. It's just like a really. I'm gonna talk to you about something else. We got another screening if you're interested in, but basically, I just think that like it's just I really enjoyed it a lot. It's like I see a lot of dance films, and this one kind of stood out for me. So love to see your next film. And obviously, you're a very talented filmmaker, and you're based in London, correct?
Yes, based in
And
London.
you're that's your vocation. Your filmmaking is your vocation.
Yes, it
Well,
is. Yeah.
let's talk again when you make your next film, either a dance film or something else. I'd love to see what you do next.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the festival
Thank you.
and good to talk to you.